So if it was that fire demon versus Marileona, you don't think Marileona waxing this nigga?
I think she would get burned. I think that would be the shocking part, is that that fire would be like, hey, yeah, I'm burning your fire. And she'd be like, what? How is that happening? I would also be like,
nigga in the
what?
grave.
You think so?
Versus like unfused, just I think what's his name, Rama or something like that. Yeah, I think because I think she playing with that other demon. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get any more Marileona. We got that one little bit of she going hard, and that's it.
That's probably possible.
We must pay homage to him.
Yo, before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way you can get notifications for all of our latest uploads and other content that we put on the channel. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into the video. One last thing. I'm sorry to keep this Black Clover section going wrong, but I had to get people's thoughts on this too. And because maybe I was misunderstanding it. Are we getting that like these high level demons have this like absolute dominion power? So like maybe I didn't understand it correctly from the ice and fire demon, but what I got from them was that their ice and fire were like absolute, in that it like almost like you can consider the fire almost Amaterasu like in rules, meaning it burns anything. It doesn't matter what the elemental attribute shit like it can burn water if I wanted to burn water. Like, it seems like this is the theme of these higher level demons, because like the word demons was like, my word is absolute. It seemed like what I got from the fire and ice demon is that it was absolute ice and absolute fire, meaning just, it didn't seem like it followed the normal conventions of ice magic and fire magic. It seemed like they were saying it just burns whatever, absolutely, or it freezes whatever, absolutely.
I don't think that is the nature of their magic. More so the nature of like they power is like, because one of them demons was as strong as 100% Dante, and Dante is leagues above any random human. You know what I'm saying? It's only what, maybe 3 or 5 niggas period that can throw hands on a regular day with this nigga. And then to fuse, what's his name said that they became more than 1 + 1. So it was a Dragon Ball Z fusion, probably like your power times my power. So I imagine that they was just at a level. It was like, nigga, if you not meant for this, it ain't you. It's over with.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that was a part that was confusing me more, is like this power tier at the high level. And it just seemed like the theme I was getting from the 3 demons we've met so far is this, like, whatever power they give them, the rules more or less don't apply. Like, if you see a nigga with earth magic, you gonna see it's gonna be earth magic times a million in terms of how he's able to use that. It's not following like the normal conventions. It's following some system, but just not like, you're not going to be able to counter them with their elemental counter, if that makes sense. If they're like an elemental mage, for example, because that fire and ice dude, like, I don't think an ice mage would have an easier time, even if they were like on par strength wise. It seemed like the fire just did what it wanted to do.
So if it was that fire demon versus Marileona, you don't think Marileona waxing this nigga?
I think she would get burned. I think that would be the shocking part, is that that fire would be like, hey, yeah, I'm burning your fire. And she'd be like, what? How is that happening? I would also be like,
nigga in the grave.
You think so?
Versus like unfused, just I think what's his name, Rama or something like that. Yeah, I think because I think she playing with that other demon. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get any more Marileona. We got that one little bit of she going hard, and that's it.
That's probably possible.
I believe
but I think, I mean, considering they're literally saying, I had to look it back just to remind myself. I mean, they do say it burns and freezes everything. Like that was the reason how they got out of their like not space. Like they were able to freeze and burn invisible concepts. I mean, when you take it to that kind of level, I mean, it's like, as far as who would win, Marileona or like one of these guys, that's still up in the air. But I think it would then become arguable to simply say that how to put it? Like it's the extent. It's the extent in the sense of like Marileona's max ability using fire is their magic. You know what I mean? Right. So like as far as to if Marileona is there or not, I mean like you could argue yes or no, like based on how much clout/respect you want to give her. But I mean, yeah, it seems like that kind of like ultimate like max point that magic can really get up to. Yeah, at least that's what it's looking like.
What I'm reading from the wiki is it says the flames are capable of burning anything and everything, including shadows, light, and even invisible concepts. So like it's that part that I'm talking about is that the blank is capable of everything else that they said. So I'm seeing that all of these like magics that they're getting like from the higher level demons have this capability to like eradicate the concept of things and just make that magic whatever the priority is, which is why I said it would like burn Marileona. Like she who would probably have an immunity to most fire magic would be burned by this because it's like they're calling it fire magic, but the concept is that it's like it's really this absolute concept that they're associating with it, which is that you can't.
But I mean like that. But I mean that technically, I mean the every gets violated simply by Asta though. So I mean that fact alone.
Well, that's because his shit is actually negating magic, but it also has
a
that
demon's magic though.
Yeah, that underlying absolute concept, and I think that's why his shit is breaking them.
So now I got a question. What I want to ask you is, do you believe it is because like the nature, because like there are two things that matter in this world: the nature of your magic, and then like your amount of power. I think the reason that they can do these things is because their amount of power is so unbelievably high. Not because like if, for example, if they signed a contract with a loose nigga, that nigga wouldn't get fire that could burn Marileona. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's their magic's ability. I just think their power level just so high.
Yeah,
but I mean, I
definitely can agree with that. I can see it going either one of those ways, but I would probably lean more towards what you said. Of it's probably just like they're so weak right now, technically in comparison to their power level, that this is what happens. Almost like they need to, when they get to that next year, they'll be able to handle magic like this in a more reasonable way. But
I mean that concept would help out as far as on a lot of levels as far as the series goes, especially with plot development and like the next arc. Like as far as to it goes back to what I was saying is all of this attributing to simply what we need to see next as power level scales from all like the main characters that we're seeing, right? Yeah. So I mean, like based on that logic, then I would say that that actually gives more support to Marileona being good in the sense that though they can utilize a fire that can burn everything, as long as she can and she can get her body to get used to that too, she can at least get to a level where she doesn't get burned because that's the fire that she's using. So I don't know. I mean,
because that was the same trick. Because I just think they're going to keep running into this difficulty with these higher level demons. Because I don't know how to put the word to it, but I think you guys are getting what I'm saying. Where that they all have this like unconventional way of having to beat them. Like the word demon literally could just say like you niggas gonna die, and like that shit would happen. And they had to come up with this intricate plan to beat them. So as they run into these demons who basically have magic that has no boundaries,
you can't type them. You got to just bust their head.
Yeah, like it's going to be crazy on how they're able to actually beat them without Asta. Asta has had to be involved in every single one of these fights to actually defeat them so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone else can pair up to actually win.
To be fair,
it comes to a real demon.
They could have beat Zagrid without Asta because Yami dealt the killing blow with his
with the dimension magic.
Yeah. So I think more niggas probably would have died, but I think they could have won that one without Asta. In this case, I think these demons are so much higher level than anybody. Only Asta can do it because he just negate that.